There are only two instances in which a woman would ever hypothetically hit the wall, and I say hypothetically because women don't hit the wall, okay? That is a concept invented by men that is projected onto women. But women don't hit the wall. But if they were to hit the wall, hypothetically speaking, the only two times they would ever hit the wall would be one, if they're literally dead, and two, if they decide to stop taking care of themselves. And I'm not talking about just taking care of your physical appearance, because that is what a lot of women focus all their attention on. But when you as a woman are able to take care of your physical appearance, your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, you're in tune with yourself, you don't neglect yourself, you don't neglect your needs, you have a community of people who support you and understand you, you're never, ever gonna hit the wall. The reason why men love saying you're gonna hit the wall is because they're scared of hitting the wall. They're scared of being old and alone, and they want you to hurry up and settle for them so that they're not old and alone. So it's projection. Not to mention, it's completely untrue that nobody's gonna want you as you get older as long as you as a woman continue taking good care of yourself, because the amount of men who want you actually increases. That's why I said, you're not gonna hit the wall as a woman unless you're literally dead or you decide to stop taking care of yourself. Because if you're not gonna stop taking care of yourself, men are constantly gonna want you. Constantly. Even if you're married with kids, divorced, widowed, whatever, they're gonna want you. That is a fact. So stop letting these red pill men scare you with this hitting the wall phrase that they love to use, because we all know it's just a projection of how scared they are of being old and alone. It's just funny to me the way these men think that their attention determines our value, when in reality, most of us don't want their attention, and also they don't look like people that we want attention from. So it's just a little conflicting to me when I hear things like hitting the wall, because I'm like, when would that ever be a thing for any woman? Unless she was literally dead or stopped taking care of herself. And that's on that. Period.
You're going to have to break the internal dialogue that says that your ability to find a good man and keep a good man weighs on your ability to meet society's beauty standards. You're going to have to break the internal dialogue that says you're not going to be able to find the relationship you deserve until you're a size 4 and you've gotten all the Botox and the fillers and the wardrobe and the money and the success. Because that's not how you find a good man. That's not how you keep a good man. That's not how you develop a healthy relationship. And you've got to stop disqualifying yourself from potential good relationships because you feel like you don't have what it takes. You've got to stop buying the lies that says what determines whether or not you're a woman of value hinges on the fact of what you look like. It's absolute and utter horseshit, and we've got to stop believing it.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone talk about this yet. I want to share my experience with aging. I'm 37 now. I'm going to be 38 in a week. And in the last year or so, I've really struggled with my appearance. And it's not so much of like a shallow thing, not wanting to look old. I know I'm not old yet, but if you're 20 something, you're like, oh, you are old. If you're 60, I'm not old, It's all relative. But it's not even that I'm like upset about a wrinkle or a blemish or a pigmentation. It's this just really weird phenomenon that happens where you don't recognize yourself and you're trying to look like you always have, and not in an age way, but just in a recognizing yourself. And so I'll do my eyebrows and I'm like, well, that didn't do it. Okay, maybe I just need more concealer. And then that doesn't do it. And then you realize you've lost volume in your face, and I now have these like really deep, they're just hollow, right? My thin is more skin. Just all these things have changed that makeup can't change. I guess plastic surgery or like augmentation injections can maybe fix, but it's just odd to seek yourself in the mirror or on camera and not be able to find it, and having to become okay with this new person. And I don't know. I think women will understand. Like, you know what you would look like with mascara versus not. You know what you look like with a face of makeup versus not. It's kind of the same way. Like, I swear, it's just like one day you're like, oh, I look like this. And then you wake up and you're like, oh, I don't look like that. I look older and more tired. Let me do what I'm used to doing. The normal mascara, the normal eyeliner, whatever it is. And then that doesn't work and you're faced with aging. It's just it's okay, but it's definitely a trip.
As a childless woman in my early 40s, I'm constantly thinking about my retirement and what that looks like. And it's always the same, no matter what. And it has been since my 30s, which is to live in a hut or a well-framed cabin in the woods with a community of women. And we all just like grow our own food, make our own preserves, read books, fix everything ourselves, have coffee together in the morning, drink wine at night, have a bunch of cats and dogs and chickens and goats, maybe some horses, pigs, whatever. And then we do really weird shit at night that makes everyone scared to come up to our property and just leaves us alone forever until we all just die in our beds, happy. That sounds like a pretty good retirement.
So, does anybody else here, like, want a husband? Not even a boyfriend. I'm talking the full-on husband. The one man to love the shit out of for the rest of your life. But you also have zero, and I mean zero, desire to date. Like, the thought of dating, bleh. Because fucking same. Like, that's quite the pickle.